This is Powering the Future, a podcast series brought to you by Smart Grid Forums. One planet, one power grid.
The use of PVs is a great opportunity to drive clean energy, but if not effectively managed, this could impact grid stability. Joining me now to discuss this issue is Thomas Rightover, Head of Division Grid and member of the Executive Board at CKW. Hi Thomas, thanks for joining us today.
Hi Mandana, thanks for having me.
So Thomas, it would be great to just get a quick overview of your roles and responsibilities and your priorities at CKW right now.
Yeah, as you said, my name is Thomas Rightover. I'm the division head of CKW Grid, and that encompasses it all. So we have the grid level 2 to 7, which is actually the power plug at your home. And we take care of it all. We build the grid, we maintain it, and we control it. And I cover entire responsibility of that.
Mm-hmm.
And the topics we are dealing with right now is mainly the huge increase of renewable injection, especially photovoltaic
Mm-hmm.
PV. And so we're trying to cope with that, and what kind of things can we do to improve the situation. We have, on the one hand, we have a physical issue, which is just the voltage that we have to take care of. And on the other hand, we have a market distortion that we have to take care of.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that challenge us most at the moment.
Right, okay. You've had quite a large number of photovoltaics integrate into your grid, as you mentioned. In terms of the technical challenges around that, can you give us an insight into what some of those are and how you propose to manage that over the next few years?
Yeah, we have per Captiva at the CKW, we have the highest installed PV production in Switzerland
Mm-hmm.
in our grid, and that causes some challenges right now. On the one hand side, we still profit from our predecessors, that our grid is still very strong, and we have a certain surplus that we can profit from right now. But now we see we are slowly approaching our limits. And in some days, we see that we have a voltage issue. So normally you have the voltage going to the customer, so a higher voltage at the transformer, and then you have a lower voltage at the customers. And then if they feed the energy back, you have to turn that around, and that causes the problem that the grid is not made for that. So you have a over voltage at the customer side, and that can cause some problem on that part. We don't have a problem in terms of getting rid of a kilowatt, if you want to say so. That's fine, but the voltage issues are starting to kick in. So that's on the one hand side, and on the other hand, we see that the predictability of photovoltaic, especially in Switzerland, we have the mountains and quick, rapidly changing weather conditions. So there can be a challenging situation. Clouds come and go very quickly. It's difficult to forecast fog and those kind of things. And especially those days, you see a huge delta between the prognosis and the actual feed-in. So those kind of things really create the balancing issues, and of course generate lots of cost.
Are there new technologies, new innovations on the market that you can leverage to manage that situation?
Yeah, fortunately, most of our customers now have energy managing system. That energy managing systems, most of them actually provide some kind of internet connection or capabilities of connecting to APIs, and we are about to provide an API from our side to give some let's say real-time information about whether it's good to feed in electricity, or if it's better to reduce the production. But that's just the technical part, and I think on the technical side, the solutions are all there.
Mm-hmm.
What we see at the moment is a regulating issue. That regulation is kind of behind the technical reality. And at the moment in Switzerland, we still have a minimum feed-in tariff which is roughly Swiss 6 cents per kilowatt hour. And that kind of gives the incentives to produce and forget. And it's challenging to, of course, pursue our customers to reduce their production. Of course, they would have a certain loss, and of course, we would have to compensate them for that. But yeah, those kind of things are contradicting each other, and we try to find solutions on a mutual agreement
Yeah.
that we can sort of reduce PV injection in real time. But that's still 1 or 2 years ahead, I would say. That we have it in large what do you call that, large mass customers.
What would be your wish list, Thomas, for the regulator? What are the things that you think regulation could do or change to better support utilities in this sort of situation?
Well, first of all, I think the market price signal has to get through to the customer. So there is no doesn't make sense to inject photovoltaic energy if spot prices are zero or even below zero. That would give strong incentive to invest in home BESS, in battery energy systems. And also for those customers that have not installed the energy systems yet, they would sort of have a natural incentive to install this and to be more conform to the market. So I think that's really important to give the price signal through to the end customers, so that would stop the distortion between the different producers in Switzerland. Secondly, I think that we should open the market completely, so we could integrate the renewable productions even to the balancing markets. And instead of causing the problem, it could be part of the solution of the problem. And by doing that, that would greatly improve the situation.
Well, finally, Thomas, what would be your prediction for the future of photovoltaic integration, or indeed renewables integration in general, into the grid? What are some of the opportunities you see ahead, and also some of the risks that you need to start planning for now?
Well, in terms of opportunities, I'd say now that we really see the problem and we actually feel it in the grid, to say, uh, I think it's going to be a boost for digitization, for large deployment of energy management systems, and that would solve many other issues. So you could sort of dispatch heat pumps more adequately to the market, battery systems or EV charging, those kind of things. So you could sort of solve those problems in the same strike. So those are the opportunities. Risks are that regulations is not fast enough. We still have to cope for 1 or 2 years with this kind of system. And that creates just huge costs, not just for the utilities, but for society in general. And in terms of forecasts, we had a quite optimistic view on the future in terms of PV installation in Switzerland. There is the intention to install up to 35 gigawatt PV in Switzerland. Now we are at 8.2 or something around that. And we already see those kind of issues. And I have to say that I think that we're slowly approaching a situation where the marginal benefit of installing more PV production is decreasing rapidly. I would say if not, we're probably already at zero. So I don't think that we're going to reach 35 gigawatts, at least not in the setup or in the regulatory system that we have right now. So we'd have to change that dramatically and really reduce and redispatch PV production by an enormous factor if you really want to go up to a 35 gigawatt installed capacity in Switzerland.
Well, this conversation will be continued at SGT 26 in Paris next year. Renewables integration is going to be a big part of the discussion there. What's your one question for the other utilities who are facing some of the same challenges as you are? What one question would you put for discussion at the event next year?
Yeah, well, how do you do it?
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
it's a ubiquitous problem that we have. The same in Germany. They even have a bigger one since they've been promoting photovoltaic for more years than we've been doing it in Switzerland. And they have all over. They have the same problem. I'm afraid that regulation is trying to come up with a new rule, new things, and it messed the situation up even more. And I think we really have to sort of get away from those kind of things. And the question would be, what systems do you see as a long-term goal that's worth pursuing?
Okay, Thomas, thank you so much for your insights today. We look forward to seeing you in Paris next year to continue this discussion and to build on it. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Same to you, and it's been a pleasure. Bye.
Thanks for tuning into Powering the Future. Be sure to follow Smart Grid Forums on LinkedIn and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on your favorite podcast platforms.
This is Powering the Future, a podcast series brought to you by Smart Grid Forums. One planet, one power grid.